far I'm really impressed with this car. It's a really, really big improvement from the last generation Civic that I drove about a year ago. This turbocharged 1.5 liter engine has a lot of power. It feels a little bit more than 170 horsepower, to be honest. I've been driving it around mostly in eco mode, and it doesn't have to rev a lot to give you enough acceleration. I mean, just driving around normally, you usually keep the revs under 2,000 RPM, and so you don't get that CVT whirring that you would normally. Honda's doing a really good job with their CVTs. It's probably the best CVT I've ever driven. Just the engine and the transmission are paired really well. And there's 60. I mean, it's got some power, and it keeps pulling up into the higher speeds too. So passing on the highway isn't a problem. There's plenty of torque too. That's probably what makes this such a good pairing of engine and transmission, is the torque from the engine. Most of the time, though, you don't really hear much going on. You'll hear a faint turbo whistle and just a little bit of a growl from the 1.5 liter, but that's it. We've been getting pretty good fuel economy too. Driving around normally, at the readout it says 33.5 mpg. I'm sure if you were driving a little bit more conservatively, you could do better, but that's a pretty 50-50 split between highway and city driving. Steering is really nice in this car. It's direct. It feels good. It's not overly assisted. It's weighted nicely. It has pretty decent feel. This car does handle pretty well. It's just a really nice driving experience. It's very comfortable. And it feels solid. All your touch points are really nicely appointed. This leather wrapped steering wheel feels good. Sport transmission mode, which basically just gives you a little bit more revs. Yeah, the power's great. Ride quality is also really nice. Over the bumps, it's really smooth. It feels solid. There's no float, or really the body doesn't get upset over larger undulations or larger bumps and crests. It's really well damped for it's got a great suspension system. This is a pretty rough road right here. This week I'm also driving the Cadillac ATS-V, and both these cars ride really well. Let's pull over. I'll show you around the car a little bit. It's definitely a larger car, more towards the mid-size sedan segment. Plenty of room in the back seat, good headroom. Front seat's pushed back pretty far. I still have lots of leg room. Nice interior design too. Everything seems to work well. Ergonomics are good. All the touch points feel pretty nice. And decent sized trunk. Rear seats fold down. Just pull these levers. Backup camera has 3 different modes. You've got super wide angle, a little bit less wide angle, and then from directly above. I usually leave it on super wide because it allows you to see cross traffic. So there's an example of us just accelerating normally, and the torque brings the car up to 40 miles an hour without passing 2,000 RPM. That whole demeanor, that personality of the car just makes this a really relaxing drive. It's very smooth. Brakes engage well, good pedal feel. They're strong, they're pretty, there's a nice linear relationship. They're not too grabby. They've got plenty of bite when you need them. Let's do a little 0 to 60 test here. Put it in sport mode for whatever it's worth. Bad. This is an impressive little car. It may not sound great or seem like it would be engaging, but I do really like this CVT. It definitely has its advantages as far as fuel economy goes, and it's very responsive. It does what you want when you want it, and that's basically the most you can ask from a transmission. It would be pretty sweet to get a 6-speed manual in this car, though. Take a look at the spec sheet here. Alright, so this is our 2016 Honda Civic Touring in Lunar Silver Metallic with the CVT. Where's our Monroney? There we go. Last page. Okay. Fuel economy, 35 miles per gallon combined highway city, 31 in the city, 42 on the highway. 174 horsepower, 1.5 liter engine, which feels a little bit underrated, to be perfectly honest. This engine pulls pretty hard. It's definitely enough power. And total vehicle price of $27,335. And they give you a full tank of fuel, starting at $26,500. It's a pretty good price for this car. This drives really nice. Of course, this has your Honda sensing package, so adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, and lane keep assist, as well as road departure mitigation. Your alphabet soup of safety features, and 3-year 36,000 mile warranty. So you've got a few options in here. You can control your audio volume, and then you can also flip through your info screen so you can see fuel economy, your average speed, elapsed time on your trip. You can even see boost when you're driving, probably. And of course navigation, so your compass, which way you're going, music, phone, and switch between miles an hour, kilometers per hour. You can see here you've got oil life.
Doing it artificially, and then page, and these are the top store.
Let's turn that off, and we'll go back to gas mileage here. This system seems to work pretty well. Touchscreen works nicely. It's pretty responsive. I'm not having any trouble using it while driving. You've got trip computer, stuff like that. Home takes you back to the home screen. You've got a nice quick button for climate control here, which is nice. Dual climate control, so you can control the sides individually, push them to sync. I usually just leave it on auto. Nice seat heaters. No steering wheel heater, which I could have used this morning, but that's alright. The wheel doesn't seem to get that cold. Plenty of room down here to put stuff. You've got kind of a sliding tray here that goes back and forth. I don't think it's removable, but you can definitely slide it around. Nice turning radius on this car. Alright guys, well that'll wrap it up for the POV review of the 2016 Honda Civic Touring. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you guys next time.